Going to be great. Hey, everybody, welcome to Falling to the Top. I am Dino the Genetic Marvel, and we are going to get things started. We are talking about a whole bunch of stuff. For starters, we're going to talk about living forever. Why should we do it? I don't know that it should, but as well, we're going to talk about some stuff happening in France, what's happened with Mr. Musk, or Techno Jesus, as I like to call him, and all sorts of things. So sit down, relax, and get ready to enjoy the show.
One, two, three. One, two, three. Let's go.
Gentlemen, oh look, and even Mr. Ryan is here. Ryan, what are you doing here, sir? You've been very busy.
Hello, Ryan.
Boys, how you been?
Sexy bitch.
What's going
Oh,
on?
it's so good to be back. I'm glad you're all still alive.
We survived somehow without you until now.
You survived COVID.
And now it's we'll see how things go.
COVID, the war with Ukraine, and Marco with 2 weeks. Good God. You guys are champions.
That's true. That's accurate. We are champions, obviously. So we are talking about all sorts of weird stuff. First of all, how is everyone? The weekend treated you all well, I'm assuming?
No, not at all.
No, not even a little bit.
Not even fucking close.
No.
Why would you ask that? All right.
It's 9 o'clock on a Tuesday already? What the fuck is happening?
That's well. Listen,
My weekend was great. I had a really good weekend. It was nice, relaxing, pretty good weather. Yeah,
Man, if I get to dip my spoon in chocolate pudding all weekend, I'd be pretty fucking happy too. So shut the fuck up.
you're an adult. You can just go buy chocolate pudding,
Did you
Marco.
just-
That's just
No, that's illegal.
No,
That is
no.
illegal to go buy some chocolate pudding.
Dino, that's not the chocolate pudding he's talking about, okay? You and our viewers both
because
know
you're
that.
all a bunch of perverts. Hey, Ryan, check your stuff.
He ain't disagreeing with me.
Anyways,
you know how was your weekend?
my weekend was fine. Fairly reasonable, enjoyable. Mostly I was just, just trying to just enjoy myself. You know what? I've been catching up on all sorts of shows and stuff, and just trying to not drive myself crazy. I've been my YouTube channel, my YouTube algorithm has been corrupted. I'll tell you that. And it's the lineup of stuff are not stuff that I enjoy. Like at first I was like, oh, this is some funny stuff. And then I'm like, oh, I think I've been radicalized. I don't want to see any more of this stuff. Because it's like, in all honesty, so on Generation Dan, we started recording these little advice things. So it's like the idea is like we'll read something from relationship advice on Reddit and then give our opinion from 3 different age categories plus our guest, right? Hey, Serge and STD, what's up, Joey? Bring out the fist, though, you filthy pig. So ultimately, in doing that, though, I'm reading some of these stories and they're absolutely ridiculous. Some of them, like it's just completely insane. But now I'm like, now all this stuff is coming up on my feed everywhere, and I'm like, oh, this is really uncomfortable. I was like, why are you watching all this relationship stuff? I'm like, I'm really not. I don't know why, but
Dude,
it's happening.
I fell asleep one night watching Godzilla reviews, and I woke up to the greatest story ever told. Do you know what that is? That is the Bible. That is, that's Jesus from sperm to the cross.
Listen, Techno Jesus knows you need Jesus. So that's just
I hope he takes over everything.
Ryan's eating roasted peanuts, Joey. Don't worry. Ryan doesn't care about respecting mic etiquette and all those kind of things. We had subjects. He has no idea what they are. That's just Ryan. Ryan's,
He just likes nuts in his mouth.
Listen, he's an independent spirit. And
I don't wake up to the life and times of Jesus, though, you weirdo.
Yeah, that's
You're beyond Jesus.
I'm not gonna lie, that kind of fucked me up.
Yeah, but
Like I
Ryan's
first
beyond
cracked
Jesus.
my eyes open. You know, you get that morning fucking piss, and you just crack your eyes open. You're like, I didn't just see shepherds in a cave. You go to the bathroom, you come back out. Why is there? What the hell's
Jesus.
going on? Why is there sand people everywhere?
Jesus of the Nazarene lived between. You just
Listen, the fact is, it's just Jesus has left the building with you too. That's just permanent. Right? Like, that's just done. There's no hope anymore. No hope whatsoever.
Yeah.
No.
Anyways.
It's a new hope. He will rise again.
Oh, not for you.
And if
for
they
you.
strike him down, he'll be stronger than he ever was.
Hey, Jesus Christ too. He's coming to get you.
Jesus too. The space opera. Let's go.
Listen, sometimes you just need to have a space opera with a guy that kills people.
Revenge of the Jew.
A long time ago in a desert far away.
Absolutely horrific. So here, okay, let's go into our first topic. Obviously, this stuff is, if you had the option to live forever, would you?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not gonna have to worry about if there's.
You were really
Jesus
hoping
or
for
not.
like
Matt, no, it's okay. You two are
No.
simpletons. I assumed you're gonna say, yeah, it's gonna be great. It's not.
Yeah.
That's
No.
only because you haven't thought it through. That's fine.
Exactly.
I have.
No,
All the-
and
all
I
the-
don't
all
think
the-
that's a great idea.
all the bad things too. Yeah, I'll take it.
Marco has, because he's like, I will torment the shit out of everyone in the afterlife. So that's fine.
Yeah.
Well,
and Ryan's
everybody-
like, that's gonna be my shot in the afterlife. That's when I'm gonna just.
I get a lot of people who always, especially like the Jehovah Witnesses that come to the door and they're like, do you know if you're going to heaven or not? No, I'm not going to heaven. I'm not going to hell either. I'm going to get fucking downloaded and I'm going to live fucking forever. So, wherever your people got you going in the afterlife, it's cool. I'm going to be on Windows 30 or whatever the fuck.
So basically, what
See-
you're saying is in like 30 years there'll be a Marco virus. Like you
Yeah.
just open up a
Yeah.
computer.
100%.
You
100%.
open up a computer and you just hear his laugh.
You're gonna pop open your porn and it's gonna be me like,
Because that's what the world needs. Let's be honest. That's gonna be that's.
You're not even upset about it. Like
No, not at
you're
all.
pretending like you don't want it, but you kind of want it, Dino. You
Oh.
kind of.
Listen,
I'm gonna save one of my old laptops and I'm just gonna download him on that one.
absolutely not. That'd be the worst. Okay, listen. This is the problem with the whole idea of it. Is if you could live forever in some sort of metaverse, which obviously Mark Zuckerberg does not own the metaverse. The metaverse is a gigantic thing. He just coined the phrase. That's all. But the fact is, does everything you own disappear? Right? Do you have to start from zero?
I think it just depends on what package you buy.
I don't think you could pull that
Yeah.
off. I think
You know,
you have to
if
be.
you buy the welfare package, then guess what?
Yeah,
You're on
yeah.
welfare in the internet.
Like you got to be careful with these packages too. Like you can't be like don't be buying the 1 foot by 1 foot square of the metaverse
Yeah.
like you bought the land in Scotland.
Yeah.
That's all you like. That's all you gonna have. It's just that
Lord
one.
Dino, you live on an inch of fucking land.
Mhm.
It's actually 2 feet by 2 feet, and it has a tree. So thank you very much. I've taken over the skies too.
You've got a root. You've
Cleveland
got
was
a
hell.
force
You
majeure.
got a fucking branch. That's what
Yeah.
the fuck you
What
get.
2 foot
For
by
sure.
2 foot tree have you found? You got like half a tree.
No, it was my inner Where's Waldo.
Mm.
That's my opinion. Is listen, have you seen 80 years old? You're like, absolutely not. It's no way. It's
Yeah, 80.
horrible.
Yeah, who wants to live that
Yeah.
long and you're shitty? I'd rather be 120 and still be the same way I am now, or whatever I
This is the
paid, what
thing.
year I paid to be downloaded.
Yeah, you
That's
gotta
the
look
thing.
if you're going to that genie, you gotta it's gotta be eternal life with eternal youth. Okay, think about this shit. All right, like you could live forever as a skeleton. Like I don't know if you really want that. I don't know if that's like.
Who
Do you
cares?
want to be
Like,
a
The
sentient?
option of living forever makes me think, hey, if I'm given that option, I don't want it, because if I'm given that option, that means people that I don't like people named Ryan, they get that same option too. And to hear that they could live forever and just pollute the earth with their thoughts, they're just verbal garbage that comes out of their mouth constantly. I would want to die tomorrow just to stop that.
See, I think the biggest issue that would come down to it would be is people would start fucking having a fit that some people can afford to be downloaded, and the people who can't afford to be downloaded have to die, and it'll become a big social thing, and then it'll be a racist thing, and it'll be, they don't want the minorities to live in the computer.
No way. No, we're not even going to touch on that one because that's a shit topic. So the idea is this, okay? Has anyone seen the show Upload? Yes, I've seen the whole thing. And you know what? This is the problem is that by making it something that everyone gets or has the opportunity, right? Whether it be a flat fee or whether you have upgrades, right? There is the concern is what control do you have over yourself, right? Because even in that show, there was the issue where part of his memory got deleted and so on and so forth, right? So the idea is, will you still be you? And one of the things I talked about with Matt earlier today was the idea is like, what if you don't have, okay, let's be honest, there's at least one person on the screen who doesn't have the proper perception of who they actually are. It might be me. I'm thinking it's more so somebody else. But the point is this, is that realistically, you're going to upload all your data and then turn around and go, well, that's not me. And then you're going, okay, where do you go from there? Right?
Is it data or drama?
So what happens? So what happens when, say, Ryan does hit some money and finally gets he gets a package. Might not be the best package, but he gets the package to get downloaded.
Oh,
and,
he's gonna hire a hitman to kill all three of us.
Yeah, but what if he gets the 8 gig package? But when he goes to download everything, he only has 200 megabytes to put on the 8 gig package.
I don't know. I want to be uploaded and identified as a Nintendo 64. Absolutely. It's got the extra dongle. That's fair.
Neo Geo still got better graphics to this day.
Hey, man. I got an emulator with all the Neo Geo games, too. It's awesome. So,
dude, I bought one of them little collectors, like a nostalgia retro thing.
Nice.
And you hook up the fucking whatever the fuck HDMI cord to it, and it's got like stacks of old school Neo Geo games.
That's the one I got is Sumo 9000 or something like that, and it's got like 15,000 games up to TurboGrafx 16. Anything below that, so like all the Neo Geo games, all the a few that are pretty actually wild.
Remember Splatterhouse?
I don't remember.
TurboGrafx 16. Yes. It looked like Jason.
Yes, he had the hockey mask on.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
That was the shit.
Yes, that was cool because that was the only game. Although I did play Friday the 13th, that was on the original Nintendo.
I remember that too.
We had to go into different cabins because you didn't want to go into the wrong cabin because otherwise Jason would be there.
Yeah, and then they had the one scene where the mom's head was just sitting there.
That's right. Yes.
Listen, Joey Edibles is like, you guys are complete dorks. Absolutely. What do you think we're here for?
Dorky stuff.
Yeah. And even still, listen, people are watching. Splatterhouse was the best. There you go. I remember Twisted Metal where you would fight with the cars.
Yep.
I played that. I played that again, and I was like, oh my God, this is so bad. This is so bad.
But Marco, thank you again for Splatterhouse, man. I hadn't thought about that game since.
Oh, dude, you gotta watch it. There's a show on YouTube. It's Angry Video Game Nerd, and he reviews all the old school games, the old shitty games. Oh yeah,
I can actually hook that up on here. Interesting. Maybe we'll do that.
What? Play your video game while we're doing the show?
Yeah.
No, essentially we do the show around playing the video game, right? There's got to be a way where we can do that kind of stuff, right?
Just the commentary. Like, fuck, duck. That you asshole, why'd you throw that barrel at me?
All right. Contra, baby.
Contra.
I remember Super Contra. Up, down, A, B, start. I remember fucking code.
Start, yeah.
I still remember Mortal Kombat, the first one on Sega Genesis, up, down, left, A, right, down. And that would get you up,
and then there was the Dullard code.
Which one was that?
Down, up, left, A, right, down.
Up, left, right on. See, there's
that one.
Look at Ryan's writing all this shit down. He's like,
no. Ryan gets mad because we pick on him, and then I'm like, listen, but you didn't read any of the material. You have no idea what we're supposed to talk about.
You didn't get the syllabus or nothing.
Remember the cheat sheets you used to have? You used to show up at your buddy's house with the new cheat codes.
Do you remember Game Genie? Do you remember Game Genie?
Yeah.
Came with a
Yeah.
novel, man.
Yeah.
That was cool.
I saw a video on YouTube about a Game Genie that was specifically for your Game Boy, and it had a flap that came with a little book that came out, and you would search the code and put in the code. And I'm like, guy, like this is the thing is, if you go back and play things like Alleyway or something like it's still good, man.
Here's a Mandela effect thing for you. So we all had the original Nintendo Master System, correct?
I had a Sega Genesis, but yes, go on.
Well, I had a Genesis too, but the gray and the light gray and dark gray fucking square rectangular box, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Blowmaster 5000.
Right. Remember, we all remember having to blow in that motherfucker, just so it could press down, because if it wouldn't press down the right way, we couldn't play it, correct?
That's you have to put something on top and just jam it down. It'll work.
Okay. According to history now, and this is the Mandela effect, you never had to do that. You never even had to press the cartridge down.
False.
What? No.
Look it up. Look it up.
I know. I saw that.
I was like, this is some bullshit I've had. I remember putting
no.
I remember putting my pack of papers in there to fucking get the damn thing to play Tecmo Bowl.
It's not just a spring. There was a click. Click.
Yeah. You had to have that click.
If you unclicked it, it would reset.
You were fucked. Yeah, you were fucked.
The only way there was a game that you had to leave it, you had to push it in, let it start, then click it down. There was a game that did that, and that put you to a secret screen. What was it? Oh,
I don't know that one, but
it might have been a Duck Hunt.
It wasn't. You just didn't insert, because what the fuck? Like, no,
dude, look at the fuck up. That blew my fucking mind. That blew my fucking mind, dude.
See, this is the thing. Okay,
I wore out my Nintendo as a kid. So.
Yeah. Dude, I mean, I don't know how many times I got so frustrated. You slammed that fucking thing up and down because it didn't get. And now all of a sudden, like, I was looking up new Mandela effects, and that's one of them. It says you never had to press that fucking thing down.
Hey, there's a couple that even say that you weren't actually supposed to blow in it, and I'm like, okay, well, you can say that, but
I was just in a secondhand store. It's a cool store. Anyways, one of the shops in it's a bunch of artists, and they have old Nintendo games, and we ended up talking to the guy, and he said that old myth. He's like, it's a myth because you actually were damaging the cartridges if you blew on them. I was like, but they wouldn't work if you didn't do that. He's like, I don't know.
The thing is like, and I found this out because I had a Sega too, and I called the customer service one time because one of my cartridges were fucked up.
Yeah.
You take a pencil eraser or a pencil with the rubber regular erasers, and you use that to clean off the tips on the fucking cartridges.
Yeah.
That's the way you're supposed to do it. But who knows now? I mean, everything then got changed up and the fucking shit never existed. So.
Well, look, that's the whole thing too, right? Like realistically, we're seeing more and more that history is being altered in very, very peculiar ways, right? You know that they just restarted the Large
Hadron Collider. I was just about to say that. And the last time everything started going screwy was when it was fucking running.
Also true, which you're going, that's a weird coincidence.
Yeah.
And I did not watch WCW. I watched WWF like a good Christian. Okay. That's
I watched both.
Do I look like I was poor? No,
I had family members. I'd go over their house to watch WCW, but those are the family members that you don't invite to your house.
Are you kidding me? WCW was good. WCW was
only when all the people left from WWF and they had all the weirdos still, and they sent them back. And you're going, okay, but do you remember what was the guy that led WCW? What a fucking weirdo. Okay, that guy was a weirdo.
Genius.
My thing was ECW, man. The original ECW.
ECW, what was it? Phil?
What?
Heyman?
Paul Heyman. Yeah. The original one, not after it got commercialized and the McMahon bought him out. Like the blood and guts, staples to the forehead, baseball bats and barbed wire.
That was where Mankind came from, right? That was where Mankind came from.
RVD.
Where he was like,
RVD. Yeah.
It was RVD, Sabu.
And Just Incredible.
Justin Taz came from there.
Yeah, Taz.
Stone Cold came from there.
Yeah. when he had that blonde hair with the other guy. Losers. No, man, listen, that's the one thing. I never knew how aggressive McMahon was in buying out all the wrestling franchises that existed across the states. But dude, he was crazy for it.
Oh yeah.
Dennis Rowe was the best WCW.
Best moment in wrestling is when Donald Trump kicked McMahon's ass.
Oh God.
That
Oh, that
was
was
a gay moment.
every time Biden used to say that he wanted to take Trump behind the bleachers and beat his ass. I'm like, do you know Trump will take his hair off and fuck you up?
Guy, I think he'll whip you with the hair. He's like,
Fuck yeah.
and just
You
hit you right
know
in the
this is
face.
the best toupee and the best ass whooping you'll ever get. This ass whooping is fairly fucking fabulous.
Listen, speaking of Mr. Trump, did you guys hear that he's like, no, I'm not going to go back to Twitter now that Elon's taken over. I'm never going back. And which I think is hilarious because his platform still is a mess.
Yeah, it is.
But I just found it funny that Friday, people were like, no, we have to take back the company and we have to make sure that the right people get to speak freely. And then he offered more money and they're like, all right, we're good. That's fine.
Oh,
You can do whatever you want. Just take the money.
They're showing videos like somebody just like they just watched a bunny fuck a tiger. Like these people are having a fit, like they just lost their livelihood because Elon Musk bought this place.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
like,
but it's hilarious. Like this is the
and
best.
you know,
This is
goddamn
fun.
well, Trump is gonna be on there in the next as soon as that deal
Oh,
closes.
yeah. Trump's gonna get on there.
Him and Rogan. Oh my god.
Can you imagine? Listen, my thing is this specifically is that the amount of people who are complaining about it is more so than any news I'm hearing about people going off on Twitter. It's like, okay, why are you guys just it's gonna be even worse than it is right now. If it's so bad, why are you on it?
Yeah, you tell everybody else to get off of it. You know,
I just don't understand.
Yeah.
I don't like the rules of fucking Facebook, but you know what? I gotta abide by them because I'm on it. Whether I like it or not.
Facebook doesn't like the rules of Marco Torres either. Like that's
oh, dude, I got 6 community standard violations today because I reposted some relationship stuff.
I don't know that you've ever followed the rules. I don't like. You're like the kid that gets off detention and then goes back onto like you're like on your next suspension already. They're like, all right, we got to give him 3 days. We got to give him 3 days active, then we're cutting him off again. Like we gotta,
yeah.
I think
dude, I noticed that. I finally was able to go live. I just checked it because I haven't been able to go live in months, and I could go live. And then all of a sudden this morning, I looked up at 6 community violations. It wasn't. It was like relationship stuff that I posted too, and they're like, "We don't allow spam. We don't allow this and that." It was from Facebook. I didn't take it from somewhere else and share it to Facebook. I shared a Facebook. It's a group on Facebook.
That's the best part about it is that you all constantly share other people's posts. So how you get nailed for it, I'm just like that doesn't make any sense at all. It's no sense, right?
I'm on all kinds. I'm on somebody's
also
list.
like saying, we shouldn't blame that guy for all that hate speech. His name's only Hitler. He was just saying all the other things that people were hating on.
I don't think
he's claiming the one guy.
Someone else wrote his speeches, man. That Goebbels guy was the real.
Yeah.
The same dude who did Winston Churchill speeches is the same guy who did Winnie the Pooh for the BBC.
Hey, man. When you got it, you got it. Let's be honest, okay? When you can capture an audience like that, you got to use it for what you can, right? That's only fair.
Man, hey, you got to use your talents.
That's only reasonable. Look,
I
feel like
paint and he can talk.
Well, so there's been a huge uprising in conservatives going towards back to Twitter. Any predictions as to what is going to transpire now, or is it going to be fully open and the Thunderdome, or is it going to be just?
I think it'll be a little bit more relaxed, but it ain't going to change too much, because ultimately, no matter how much free speech Elon Musk claims he wants to put out there, he's still at the mercy of his stockholders, just like everybody else was.
Possibly. Fair.
Yeah.
Anybody else?
I mean,
it'll probably be used even more so on the political end of things, even more than it already is. It'll be a general wasteland of all the degenerates that aren't allowed to post in Instagram and Facebook. A
Yeah.
lot of Marcos, a lot of Ryans, you know.
I don't even know what Twitter looks like. I don't even have a Twitter. And I got an Instagram that's like controlled by my studio guys. I've never even seen it.
I feel like you'd have fun with Twitter for like a couple days. I think a couple days, and then you'd be like, "Nah, I can't do that. It's too
Yeah.
hard."
Ryan, are you on Twitter?
Oh, we're on Twitter. I don't really.
We're on Twitter. See,
I
I'm on.
don't really mess with it that much. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to be a twat.
No. Every time I go to tweet, I'm like, this is stupid.
There's no point.
It's
Yeah,
very
yeah.
peculiar. Like we talked about this on this week's episode of Generation Dan, which is coming out in a few weeks, was the idea of online communities, how like it's very polarizing, whatever community is, because you're kind of, you know, balls deep in everything where you're like, you have no area to kind of pull back, right? So the idea of talking online and everything, like, remember the whole thing that Techno Jesus was saying was specifically that free speech is when you allow someone say something that you don't want to hear, right? And that's the idea. But at the same time, there's a lot of people who say a lot of insane things all the time, present company included, of course. So
Yeah,
I think you should be able to say what you want to say. Freedom of speech is freedom of speech, but freedom of consequences is a different thing. You know, if I say something ignorant and somebody smacks me in my fucking mouth for it, hey, you know, I can't blame that person because I, you know, said what I said, but you can't tell me I can't say it. I just, you know, I got to be ready for that smack in the mouth.
well, that's a fair thing. In the meantime, listen, while we're doing everything, let's pop little chime in from our sponsors too. Brought to you by Exclusive Housekeeping Services. Give them a call at 216-650-7984. This month they're offering a 2-hour deep clean for $160, because we all know spring cleaning is here and it isn't going away until we get it done. Give Exclusive Housekeeping Services a call at 216-650-7984 and let them know that Eargasm Comedy sent you. If you enjoyed what you saw today, please give us a like, give us a share, even subscribe to one of our many channels. Or even better, hit us up on the Cash App or become a member of our Patreon group. We'd love the support and love to keep producing comedy for every one of you. Also brought to you by Captain Surge White Nuts, the grease cleaning, erection giving, digestion helping, stool softening, pain thinning, tick removing, super power granting holiday drink for lovers.
You gotta put so you can rest medicine.
I think that would be copyright. We might get dinged for that.
It works.
Came straight from the cow.
It's horrible. So, also too, there were a bunch of protests in France. French fried election. People were going nuts. Did you guys hear about this stuff?
What were they protesting? What happened in France?
It was students. Students specifically were saying that they disagreed with their options for candidates. Obviously, one is from the left, one is from the right, one is xenophobic and wants France for France for France for France, and the other one is like, hey, let's all hold wieners and touch each other. All right, so and realistically,
they didn't have a third option.
That's basically it. They're like, hey, these are shit options. We should do better. And a lot of people online are comparing it to the same idea with regards to Trump and Hillary, where you're like, hey, neither of those are good options. Like, they're both horrible.
Yeah, but we got libertarians. We got other people. There's debate that didn't just start off with Hillary and Trump.
Oh, it has been going downhill for the last 20 plus years, right? Like, it's been a nightmare, but yeah.
I think my whole thing on this whole thing is like this whole issue is fuck France. They're fucking sending, you know, they're lying and sending weapons over for the war and shit and smiling in our face. They don't help us for fucking goddamn. And yeah, fuck them, fuck them at the third party.
Your mic is going weird, just so you know.
The French intelligence service did not like what you have to say.
Yeah, they cut you off.
They
That
cut
makes
your
sense.
mic.
Can you imagine Marco
Fuck 'em.
Torres taken down by the French? Oh,
Oh,
I would
Wee
never let you
wee
live
wee wee.
It's the best part
Oh, fuck that American.
is 1 million calories. No, the whole idea behind that though is like, I think that's a fair, like, obviously France has way too many protests. Okay, they're like Italians celebrating during the World Cup. Like, we've all had enough of it, but at the same time, it's okay. They're not in the World Cup this year, and I'm loving it. So that's just, I'm telling you. Listen, when Gordon Ramsay said Greek cooking was better than Italian, I immediately texted that clip to every Italian person I know. I'm like, suck it, loser. So, but yeah, like, realistically, the idea that they should be able to protest if there are only shit people to be elected, I think that's a reasonable protest. Like,
I'm surprised it hasn't happened sooner. Like, what? None of us protested when it was Hillary.
there were a lot of protests for the Orange Man, though, right? To go against him.
And the Democrats kicked up shit when they wanted Bernie Sanders instead of Hillary.
I still wish Bernie won.
Bernie
I
would have
Oh,
won. And
Jesus
I
Christ.
still want Bernie. I still want
Listen,
Bernie.
Bernie isn't a winner. That's
Yeah,
the
no,
problem.
he's
No, he
not
would
at
have
all.
beat Trump. He would have beat Trump. The first
I think
time.
he
should
would.
have.
I think if it had been Bernie or Trump, Bernie would have won. I still don't
Yeah.
like. I feel like they threw that.
For sure.
Because it's like on the one hand you had Bernie, who everyone loves. On the other hand, you had Hillary. Look, I don't get the whole, like, they always are like, well, we're gonna pick this candidate because it reaches the middle people, and I'm like, who are these middle people?
Who are these people who love Bernie?
I believe they're the underground mole people they're talking about. So the middle of the earth. That's what they're
Yeah.
referring to.
The
Yeah.
frozen people and
Yeah. Ice people, the Antarctic. By
Yeah.
the way, there's been an influx of that whole conspiracy theory with regards to Antarctica being whole, and also
Yep.
there being a secret civilization.
satellite pictures and shit.
Tons and tons and tons. Just because, so for our viewers too, is one of the things is, as you know, we're all nuts, but we all can read ish. But we do like moving pictures. So on YouTube, there's a lot of conspiracy. Yeah, shake your nuts. There you go. It's like it's nuts time. The point is this: that there are a lot of conspiracy theories, like from the before America was America. It was there were a lot of maps, world maps, that will show inaccuracies, but also ones that show surprising accuracies. Because remember, Antarctica wasn't discovered until fairly recently during, history.
So we're told.
Well, so this is the other thing, right? And one of the things that I was talking with you guys about was, like, if we can live forever, how do you guarantee that knowledge, right? Like, remember, the idea that we have consistent knowledge over the last 5,000 years, that's the general idea, right? Is that while humans have been here longer, written history is around 5,000 years. I say bullshit. It's very much being controlled by the victors in that fashion, and there's a lot more that we don't know. And Serge, you know what? Like, I feel like I don't want to call it rigged, but there's definitely an element of,
Riggery?
picking and choosing. Like, I feel like there's certain things you can get away with, and certain things you're kind of, all right, that's gonna happen. Like, sorry, go ahead, Ray.
That's like you just said.
I just
hold on.
I want to pump in here because, like, I don't want to move off from what you just said.
Yeah.
Like, so the weird thing I've been into lately is, like, the Dark Ages, like researching Dark Ages, England and Britain and Scotland, and it wasn't like history is 100% a controlled narrative.
Yes.
Like, it's not that, like, nothing happened during the Dark Ages and there was no recorded history. No, they just don't tell you about it. Like, it's just not part of the narrative that they want to tell you. That's like, I don't know. Me and Marco are big on, like, the Anunnaki and, like, we've been around on this planet for, like, millions of years, Marco. A couple 100,000, 100 million
Yeah,
years.
yeah, a
And
lot more than.
We've got 5,000 years of recorded history. Like, come on.
Well, listen, even still, there are definite historical inaccuracies with that, right? Like Göbekli Tepe and other places that show evidence of societies that were closer to 12 to 14,000 years old.
And advanced.
And well, they're showing that there are techniques with regards to what people did that we still can't figure out. Of course, everybody knows that kind of stuff. But also, as Joey reminded me, be sure to like, share, subscribe. Check out SCD Podcast. After you subscribe to us, go subscribe to them because, hey, why not?
Yeah, get some STDs. It'll be good for you.
Joey does get actually some pretty wild people to interview, so it's actually pretty cool. I think he's got a big one coming up. Comment and let me know, Joey, because I know you said that's there's a couple not Cheech Chong, no, Tommy Chong, right? Tommy Chong is the one that went to jail. I believe he's interviewing him soon, or just did. One of the two. Let me know, Joey. Put it in the comments. Yeah, well, you know what, like, that's the thing, man. Like, there's say what you want about the idea of philosophy and everything, but the fact that people were able to convey knowledge from person to person for a lot longer than we have theoretically been able to write everything down, right? And there were a lot of times in history that turned out to be way more accurate than anything else. Sweet Jesus, Mike, you fucking bastard.
Marco,
the other thing is
the topic.
The oral traditions seem to have a lot more knowledge because even if stuff was written down, I mean, you look at like Uruk and like these early like Mediterranean cities and Babylonian cities, like they use clay and tablets, and they're just finding a bunch of it now. Like, so like think about how much of like what you've created that someone could find. Like, okay, let's say you're a uber geek and you actually manage to journal every day. This is not a journal. Just like, let's say you journaled. This paper's not going to last for 1,000 years. It's not going to last for it's actually our email. It's actually our email list.
I'm just messing with you.
No, like paper is not going to last for 5,000 years.
Is it a list of people you've made sad?
It's the list of people that's made him sad. That's what it is.
He cried in his car. He's like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
Crying in my car. Go on.
Another one for the book.
There's no crying in DoorDash. There's no crying in DoorDash.
He's got Tommy F and Chong soon. Yeah, it's May 9th. May 9th at 3 p.m. Be there live. So
nice.
Only after you've subscribed and liked our video. It's
getting back to what you were saying.
Yeah.
Like even in the Mahabharata, which is the Hindu ancient texts that kind of go hand in hand with the Sumerian text, they talk about flying machines and the nuclear war that fucking wiped out a lot of shit. You know, and they describe the shit very, very detailed.
Well, and this is the thing too, is like, remember, so I'm doing these jokes just about being Greek and everything, but the fact is, like, because of ancient Greek, they were able to figure out the Rosetta Stone, right? And that gave us knowledge. But the problem is too, is that even ancient Greek isn't necessarily always being translated properly. Like the simplest example with Greek right now, okay, modern Greek versus English, is there are 5 different words for types of love, right? Versus just love, right? So
like butt sex and oral and all that type of stuff.
Some of them are brotherly love. Some of them are brotherly love. So,
but is there like brotherly love?
So one is like brothers in arms, and another one is brothers in arms. You know, it's a little bit of touching,
little reach around.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is the brothers in arms. Yeah. Is that your brother? No. Your brother in arms?
Oh no incest stuff. I feel like that was still weird even for Greeks. Like, not your own family, man. That's fucking weird. Fuck the guy. Fuck the sheep, whatever. But don't fuck your own family. That's weird.
Yeah,
right?
Fuck your brother, dude.
I feel like that's the funny part is that there are certain consistencies where it's like, listen, yeah, they did weird things. Weird things happen, but the one guy who's the official weirdo banged his own family. You're like, that guy's fucking weird.
Yeah, we took it in the ass with a fucking wooden dildo, but that guy's fucking his brother.
That guy fucked his own brother. Like, guy, you don't do that to family. Like, that's not right. You know, I feel like that those are certain lines which I'm like, I'm fair to die on that hill. Like, hey, no, that's not okay under any circumstances. Okay,
Nick and Gus, you're gross.
Yeah, well, talking to you, South. Just, hey. Okay, so realistically, also somebody sent us a picture of this. You use so much oil, the U.S. is trying to invade it. That's fair.
That's fucking great right there.
It is great. What else was there we wanted to talk about? There's free speech until you tip well. Techno Jesus will save us all. And then Madison Cawthorn, Rut-Row Raggy. So, Madison Cawthorn was the congressman who went on a podcast and said how he was invited to a drug-filled orgy with through Congress. That's where the invite came. And then it's publicly, the head of the party came back and was like, yo, shut the fuck up. Now, interestingly enough, is now it's being publicized that there are pictures that have come to light. That
pictures.
It's him wearing lingerie in what appears to be a party setting. And not men's lingerie, ladies' lingerie. Because that's a thing.
But he's surrounded by ladies.
He is surrounded by ladies, and he is in a wheelchair, so maybe they assaulted him and put the lingerie on him. You don't know.
What if that mother? First of all, he ain't got no legs. He got bitches around him. I mean, at best case scenario, he was having a good time. Worst case scenario, they invited him there and treated him like that damn that piece of exercise equipment that you have in your living room that you put the laundry on. People are getting naked and just throwing their lingerie on him.
That might be it. They might have thought he was the pile of coats. It's fair.
Yeah.
That's horrible.
You ain't got no legs, Lieutenant Dan.
Which is more, a senator is more powerful than a congressman, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that,
well,
Senate,
Congress be equal.
Longer term.
It's supposed to be equal.
And the president is in charge of the country. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. As a senator, you have way more because there's fewer senators as well. So.
I'm just gonna give. I think senators are. Yeah.
Senators, okay. So this guy's a congressman.
Yeah.
He was born in North Carolina. He was raised on
traditional
Christian principles. Yeah.
Oh, he's a Boy Scout. He's been fucking up.
Mm-hmm.
Well, see, that's the thing is, I don't think he is. Because, the reason he can't walk is because they were in Florida and his buddy crashed a car and he had his legs up on the dashboard, which, listen, everybody knows if you have your legs on the dashboard, you're just inviting fate. Fate, well, maybe a little bit, but definitely fate to knock on your door, right?
No, and it's horrible what happened to him. But just because you're disabled doesn't mean you're not an asshole. And,
also true.
He has totally taken advantage of his disability. And he's misogynistic, and there's women come out and said that he's harassed them. So I have no sympathy for the man.
He's also a good-looking guy. So
I mean,
I think the big factor here is, does his dick work? Because if his dick don't work, none of this is relevant. None of it is relevant at all.
Fair question.
I have a completely random sidebar.
So you're just going to dramatically change everything.
No. Out of the cast of 4 here, who do you think is going to be the one to have us have a lawsuit in the future? Out of the 4 of us here, who do you think is going to be the one that's going to have the scandal?
You!
For sure. You're definitely going to take advantage of. You want to be famous, baby? That's definitely a Ryan line. That's 100%. That's. Yeah.
Look, I want you to go in on this with me. That's what it'll be. I know how to skirt the shit. You know what I'm saying? I follow the good politicians, and not good as in they do good. I mean good as in they don't get caught.
I have sent Marco a couple messages to say, "Yo, we should go in on this."
Yes, I know. He's like that Jewish guy who takes all the rappers' money and then they don't know what the fuck happened.
Go, I thought we were friends. You're like, guy. Sir says, I hope Stephen Hawking doesn't show up to the orgy. Apparently, Stephen Hawking used to assault his wife, which I'm like, that's just
How? What did you do? Bump
I
into
don't-
her ankle with the
I don't
fucking
know,
wheelchair?
but that's some weird shit. Like,
That's
apparently he was like not a nice guy, which being that smart, I feel like he's not gonna be nice.
I'm
Can you
still with
imagine-
I'm still with Marco. How? Like, what kind of attachments were?
You
on
got
the
a
ship?
button there that's a bitch, bitch. Cunt.
Hey, maybe he had like one of those cow cutters on like a train and just would like run into her from behind. I don't know.
But I mean, that thing is doing what, 3 miles an hour? You can't get out the way from that drooling fucker. You deserve to get your ankle cut out.
The element of surprise. I don't know.
I mean,
Surprise! You can hear that thing coming.
Yeah.
It sounds like a toaster.
he wasn't Professor X in the fucking hovering
Oh.
fucking thing.
Did you guys hear that one of the last interviews he did, I forget who it was with, but somebody tripped over a plug and he pretended to shut everything off. So they thought that they had turned off his life support. And then he turned it back on, like, because it was just some plug for something. It wasn't his plug. But they were like freaking out. They thought they'd killed him. And then he's like, And I'm like, guy, a savage, man. You
You know,
can't do
the
that.
silly thing was he couldn't even say that. He had to have a button that said,
Hey, in the end, it was a twitch. It was a wire attached here that this was the only thing that could move, and his this eyeball, and that's what would dictate how he would do things. It's messed up, but like,
So again, how you let this guy eyeball abuse you? What? How?
I don't think that would be fair. If somebody had beef with you, and then you're like, "Get the fuck out of
What
here,"
if
and
he had
pushed
like
over a
some
chair, you're like,
cerebro
"That's not
thing
right."
though? Like if he had like some cerebro, or didn't Elon Musk make some link to AI? He could have had some robot just come out of the closet, smack his wife, and go back in the closet.
Oh,
Listen,
he's
guy.
100% turning over in his grave right now about this meta shit. He's like, if I had just 2 more years.
This was my idea, fuckers. You laughed at me.
Okay, so hold on. You know what? That's a perfect fucking thing for us to go out on, is specifically the idea of someone who like that, who is arguably one of the great minds of history, right?
Yeah.
And if not that he answered questions, he asked questions that put us on a path
Right.
that is very beneficial to mankind. Let's say that, right? Realistically, how are you going to upload that guy? Like, what guarantee is there that you are only going to be used for what you want?
Yeah, you're gonna need a few terabytes for that one.
That's the other thing.
Yeah.
What if that guy was only a few gigabytes and Marco's upload is like 6 terabytes? Like what? Like, could you imagine?
Or even Steve Jobs. Could you imagine Steve Jobs? Like, I know Steve Jobs right now is floating around in the ether. Like, what the fuck?
I'm kind of happy. Steve Jobs was the devil. There's no
Dude,
question.
Steve Jobs is cool as fuck. Gates was the one that fucked him over.
Listen, Gates though is 100% evil. Like, there's no hint. That guy's got bodies. Like, there's no question, right?
He's a supervillain.
Let's not talk about the supervillain on the podcast, okay? On the PC software.
Guy, Techno Jesus will save us. I'm sure of it, right?
You know, Marco.
All hell to Musk.
You know,
We're gonna
Marco,
be
you're big on time.
muskrats.
You're big on time travel, right?
Yeah.
You know, remember when like Hawking like threw like the party for time travels and nobody came?
Yeah, what if that fucking worked? And he's just
what
sitting
if
back
that
there right
worked?
now, healthy, like, look at these dicks.
Well, hold on.
Look
Okay,
at
if you
these
could,
dicks.
listen, if you could time travel, would you go to that event? Absolutely not. I wouldn't.
No,
I would.
you can't trust people in the past.
I mean, to meet this, just to meet the guy, yeah, I would go. I mean, come on, it's like, you wouldn't want to like meet like Hawking or fucking Einstein. Like, I feel like if you're gonna time travel, like,
See, the biggest, I think the biggest problem, the biggest ramifications with time travel is the butterfly effect. And if you got 1 million people fucking doing this and the time travel is that prevalent, you know how nobody's history or nobody's universe will be the same minute to minute.
I feel like Ryan would take the most incredible technology in the universe, that of time travel, and use it just to hang out with some cool people.
I think he'd go back and watch E.T.
I gotta see live in theater.
Take me to this.
Just go back in time and disprove all the oh god, what's the thing we were just talking about? I'm sorry, I can't do it.
He's gonna go back. Hey Jesus! Hey Jesus! Hey Jesus! Over here, Jesus! Hey, and just whip a rock at his head. Jesus! Look at me, Jesus!
Why? I feel like Ryan would be like, heads up, and just boom. Yeah, like, no, that's the problem.
You guys are jerks.
I would never time travel to a blue balls party. What's wrong with you? Yeah, that's pretty fair. Use the butterfly effect to create Sharknado. No. Okay, with walkie-talkies you need, I've had this discussion that the fact is that Tara Reid actually was on the news, or she was interviewed, and she said that Sharknado is possible, okay, in real life. But then, so like 2 years ago...
She also thought her boob implants were possible. See how they fucked that up?
Hey, the problem is that it was a couple of years later, which it was actually just at the beginning of the pandemic, a shark was caught in a tornado and brought onto land. Like, that actually happened. So...
Yeah, they found a whale in some fucking pond, too, in the middle of a city. They don't know how that ended up there, neither. They're saying UFOs. I tend to believe that before I believe a tornado carried a fucking shark inland.
Yeah, listen.
No, that's happened with a lot of stuff, eh?
If
like, Occupy and stuff.
If UFOs are real, they have 100% been punking us for like 100 years. Like,
oh yeah.
Like leaving cows upturned in fields, putting whales in ponds. Like,
you got to look at it like fishing, though. What do we do when we go fishing? We pay. Sometimes we keep the fish. A lot of times we throw them back. Them fish are traumatized, and you know if that fish goes back to its family and tells it what happened,
they're not gonna believe that. No,
they're not gonna believe it at all. So I mean, we are just fish to aliens.
Listen, you two retards talking about the fucking fish having a conversation over dinner. Get the fuck out of here, you idiots!
Yeah, that's what the fish are saying.
Morons.
Listen, all I'm saying is all of the entire Earth is like Florida for these aliens. Like the entire Earth.
They don't have a family unit like humans. They don't actually like go home. And like
fish are in schools, and a lot of them do stay like dolphins stay together. Whales stay together.
Why'd you name your fish Gil?
Because you're talking about them having conversations about their day.
And dolphins have conversations with each other. It's scientific.
That's the part of the scenario that you found hard to believe. It makes sense that they would be able to go and meet their other fish family that they would remember and hang out with for their entire life, of course, because fishes do that, and have that whole conversation. But then I brought names into the whole scenario.
Then you named it Gil, and you were fishist. How dare you, sir?
Absolutely stop. This is a horrible conversation, and all three of you should feel bad about it. All three of you.
I'm not fishist. I believe in fish of all kinds.
The fuck is fishist? Bunch of moron. Aquaman for president. God damn it, Serge, you're not helping. Well,
Namor for president. Fuck Aquaman. Namor.
I'm falling asleep, guys. Sorry for the inactivity. I will punch you in the face next time I see you, Joe.
He woke up the fishes.
Yeah, go jump in a lake. All right.
I don't think you can do that in Cleveland. You might get like an extra
big pond.
Anyways, I think we've touched on everything, and we've had a fun conversation, everyone. So thank you very much for showing up. We've had a great old time. It has been an insane conversation. We might actually get clips for once, so that'll be interesting. But who knows? Because let's be honest, we're all horrible people. But thank you so much for watching. In the meantime, we'll give you guys just a little hint on our way out. We have Marco with Upside Down Studios. Are you guys? I know. Yes, last week you guys had
tomorrow. Tomorrow we got What the Fuck Wednesday.
Tomorrow's What the Fuck Wednesday. We have Friday is going to be the stay-at-home show. And, of course, as always, we want to encourage people to sign up to the Patreon or to give our sponsors a call at Exclusive Housekeeping at 216-650-7984 as they do have that special. And let's be honest, do you guys have snow right now or no?
No.
No. It's only in the Midwest, but yeah, we don't either. It's actually gorgeous outside, so things are going great. But in the meantime, guys, have fun, talk about shit, email us, let us know what you want us to talk about. Otherwise, we're just going to fucking make up our own shit. And let's be honest, it's going to be funny. If maybe a little bit stupid, but it's definitely funny. Anyone else want to plug anything, shows happening? We have Stay at Home on Friday. Ryan, are you doing anything else this week for other shows?
No.
Use your words.
Nah.
Anyways.
Don't be a fishist.
Yeah. Take your Jesus fish off the back of your car.
I know what that acronym stands for. I know Greek. You go fuck yourself. Anyways, this has been Falling to the Top, guys. Have a wonderful week, and we will see you. Check all of our YouTube channels and the Facebook for any updates for any shows. But there are clips always going, and do that. All right. Talk to you guys later.
1, 2, 3.